Today we're going to talk about getting started doing bullet powder coating. And we're also going to answer the question, can a Cool Whip bowl change your life? The first point I want to make about getting started powder coating is there's more than one way to do it. So when there's keyboard commandos telling you that I'm doing it the wrong way or the way that I'm showing how to do it is wrong, realize just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. It might be different than the way someone else does it, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. What matters to me is the results that I achieve. So I'm going to show you how I achieve my results, and I assure you there's a reason I do everything I do. And I will try to remember to explain that to you all along the way. But you really only need some cast bullets, an old Cool Whip container that's been cleaned and dried, some powder coat, and a small oven. And you can powder coat your own bullets pretty quickly and pretty easily. Now today, when I show you how I do it, I'm actually going to add plastic airsoft BBs because through trial and error and reading things on the internet, I tried it both ways and I get better results when I add airsoft BBs to my powder coat mix. But you can do it with just bullets, powder coat, and a Cool Whip container. You don't have to have airsoft BBs, and for the first 6 months maybe or so, I didn't use any airsoft BBs and I had pretty good bullets, but they do come out smoother and the coat does seem to be more even when I use airsoft BBs. Some guys use craft beads or pony beads instead of these kind of airsoft pellets, airsoft BBs. I use airsoft BBs. I got the black ones originally. Somebody online said, oh, the black ones work the best. I don't know if that's even true. All I know is that's what I got. I got heavy 25 gram black BBs and a container, any container that has a number 5, which I believe is polypropylene, but I could be wrong. It says PP number 5 for plastic recycling as the code. My understanding is this kind of plastic, when you swirl around your bullets inside here with the powder coating, the static electricity builds up and the charge gets on the bullet, and basically the powder sticks to it because of static electricity. And the number 5 plastic does a really good job and creates the right amount. The pony beads or these beads supposedly help with the static electricity and create more static electricity so it sticks better. I don't know if it's the static electricity or not. Again, I'm not a scientist. I just know my bullets come out good. But what I also know is that rolling around in these beads smooths the powder coat and it's not clumpy and they come out really nice. Again, people online will argue with you about everything. All I know is what my bullets look like. And my bullets come out looking really good. My worst color for coverage is this maroon. It gets little tiny little specks in it that don't cover very good, but it still covers really well, encapsulates the bullet enough so that it's lubed and they look good. The red and the blue, probably the best. The green is really thick and does a good job as well. And then you can mix your own. I get my powder from paintballkingdom.com in these little bags. The guy Smokes on the Cast Bullet forum sells powder, and you can get it in different quantities and different colors. Another place is Eastwood. Eastwood sells automotive paint and that kind of stuff. Eastwood makes really good powder coat that a lot of guys use, and Powder by the Pound is another place people get their powder coat. As long as you get a good quality powder coat, it's going to work well. So I'm not going to dump new powder into this to show you. I'm just going to show you how many beads I have in here and how much paint is in here. There's a couple of tablespoons of paint in here, which is probably too much, but you need to kind of experiment and see what works best for you. I like having a lot of paint in there. That's just me. I'm going to show you my process and go through this quickly. I'm not going to leave the camera on for the entire minute that I'm going to shake them, but once I put bullets in here, I'm going to shake them for 1 minute and then let it sit for a minute and then transfer them onto their plate. So the next point of contention between different factions in the powder coating community is whether or not you're a tweezer geezer or a basket case. I fall into the prior category. I am a tweezer geezer through and through. What does this mean? It means that I like to pick out my bullets one at a time with tweezers, tap them on the side of my container to make sure all the chunks are off, and then place them on their base. Now here I'm using non-stick foil. You can use a silicone mat, you can use parchment paper, you could use just the pan. I mean, there's a lot of things you could use. I like this non-stick stuff. I took a cookie sheet from the dollar store, cut it in half, wrap it in foil, and I get multiple uses out of it. These are probably going to go in the oven for like the 20th time today when I film that part. The point is, the tweezer geezer, guys like me, pick them out with tweezers, tap off the excess so any big chunky spots are gone, and then place them one at a time on their base on whatever you're cooking them on. And this is my little $20 oven from Walmart. Now, a basket case would take these, dump them into some sort of mesh screen or a basket. There's all different kinds of things. Some people make like a wire mesh box. Some people call themselves the mesh mafia. Okay, because they take them and they dump them all at once into the mesh and sort off all the excess powder, drops through the holes in the mesh or in the wire basket, and then they stick that whole basket inside their oven. And if you had a huge oven, like a cooking oven for a house, you could make a gigantic basket and fill it with bullets and throw them in there. The reason I don't do that is I do a small scale, and I really like the way my bullets come out. They look really nice. They don't have little nodules on them. They don't have little specks and spots where they stick together. And again, there's more than one way to do this. You do it whatever way you like. I'm just showing you what has worked for me and what I like. It's not a right or wrong thing. If your bullets are coated enough so that you can use them and successfully shoot them without letting your barrel, and you like the results you get, then do whatever you like. It's not a big deal one way or the other. There's guys online that spray their bullets with silicone and swirl them around in their powder coat. And I say more power to them. If that's what they want to do, good. I'm a tweezer geezer, and I have no issue with anybody else doing it any other way. I know it's slow, I know it's methodical, my bullets come out nice, and I like my results. It's very, very humid today, so it's a little bit clumpy. Plus it's really old powder coat. It's been in that same container for probably a year or longer. But they came out good, they're coated good. I have the oven on outside, preheating right now. Looks like a rainstorm's going to move in, so that's perfect for the humidity as well. But we're going to go with it the way it is. Okay, I've got my oven preheated. You're going to have to check whatever powder coat you use. Usually it says 400 degrees. 20 minutes after the paint starts to flow, and you'll be able to look in through your glass and see that the paint has started to flow. It gets liquidy and runny looking. Okay, so preheat your oven, get your bullets, whatever kind of tray you use. Remember, they're hot. When you come back out, you're going to need to have some gloves or welding gloves, something like that. Yep, so that's just about perfect right there. Way back I had to keep testing the temperature because the oven was way off. Sometimes swings really like 100 degrees, 80, 90 degrees. So you need to check your oven. If you have one of those little laser temperature gauge things that you can shoot at stuff, that should work good enough to tell you how hot the inside of it is. But realize as soon as you open the door, some of the temperature comes out too. Anyway, I'm going to let this go for a little over 20 minutes. Really going to be probably 25 minutes. I'll come check them in a few. I don't do this inside because they smoke a lot and they smell bad. You can do whatever you want. Some guys have fans and fume hoods and stuff. I did one time try it in my little shop area with the fan in the window, and it just smelled really bad. Like you could smell it inside the house, so I just don't do it because I know breathing this stuff in is not good. I'm assuming everything that comes in or out of that oven is toxic and nasty, and you don't want to, inhale it. It's like smoking paint, basically. And personally, I'm not into smoking paint, so I try not to smoke the paint. So that is the basics of basic bullet powder coating. There's more. There's more advanced stuff. There's different ways of doing it, but the basics are get a good powder coat, get a Cool Whip container, and yes, the Cool Whip container can change your life, or some other plastic container that has a 5 on the bottom of it. Get good powder coat. Get some BBs, or not. You can do it with no BBs. They're not a must-have. And then just try it. A little trial and error. Make sure that your oven's the right temperature. I don't care if you're a Tweezer geezer, or a Mesh Mafia member, or a basket case, or a hybrid model. If you look up Charles Irby on YouTube, he's more of a hybrid model. He does both. He's got some really cool stuff. Basically has a PhD in powder coating. There's other master powder coaters on YouTube and other places. You can go to the Reloaders Network and look at their videos there. Elvis Ammo, Fortune Cookie 45 LC. There's a bunch of people. But for a very small investment, a cheap oven, a little bit of powder coat, and a reusable container, you can get rolling powder coating. And most of the guys I know that powder coat are more than willing to give advice and help. Oh, and if you go look at my other video, powder coating from start to finish, you'll see one of these little silicone ice trays. I use this for my cast lead rifle bullets to stand them up so they don't fall over going in and out of the oven. The other thing I do is I water quench my rifle bullets I don't water quench my pistol bullets. Some people water quench certain ones. But again, something that you need to just investigate on your own and do a little work, a little trial and error. Most people melt a batch or two of bullets when they first start out because their oven's too hot and the bases get all mushy and kind of melted. I made some mushrooms one time, and that's when I realized that my temperature on my oven was way off. I hope this helps some of you. I hope you see how easy it really is. And listen, some people struggle. Some people have a hard time with powder coating. I'm not doubting them at all, especially if you live in a very humid place, or if you started out with bad powder coat. You know, if you don't get one of the really good powder coats, your results aren't going to be as good. But give it a shot. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.